Okay, so here's what the 18 looks like after you put $5,500 into it. So now it sits, let's see here. Mine is 12 7/8 off the ground in the rear, 14 off the ground in the front right now. Has not been adjusted since new, so the springs are broken a little bit, so I need to crank them back up. Should be 13.5, and his is now 16 in the front, 16.25 in the rear of ground clearance, measured at the same spot. The springs have not been used yet, so it'll probably settle in a little bit. That's the shock therapy springs on there. It's got super ATV high clearance A-arms. It's got the Rhino axles. It's got the upgraded ball joints. 14-inch bead locks. Both machines have 30x10 tires. So the difference here on these tires, my rear tire is only 9 7/8 wide actual width, 10 pounds of pressure in mine. His have 20. And my front tire, oh, I got that backwards. My front tire is 9 1/4 wide. No, I got it backwards again. Okay, rear tire 9 1/4 wide, front tire 9 7/8 wide. And his tires, which are also called 10s, are 11 inches wide. They have those extra, the tread on the side, so you can see it looks like a pretty wide tire. And then you compare that to, this might be a good shot. You might be able to tell there. They look much wider. So both tires have tread on the side. It's a little more aggressive on his. Those are a 10-ply tire, street legal, DOT approved. The beadlock wheel with center, it's 4-inch offset, so it sits out a little bit wider. I'm going to take that tire and put it on mine and see how it works with putting that wheel on mine, give me a wider stance. So mine right now is supposed to be a 64-inch wide machine, and it is 65.5 wide at the rear, measured at the tires on the ground, and the front is 66 wide right now as it sits. His is 68.5 wide at the rear, 68.75 wide at the front. So not only does he have those offset wheels, it also has wheel spacers in there. You can kind of see right there, you see the aluminum wheel spacer. So he also has the XP flares on now, and I think it really makes that Polaris bars and down the side look a lot better, because now the tire actually sticks out just a hair past it, where before they were way in, and I thought that bar looked out of place personally. So let's see, what else does he have? It has the upgraded ball joints. He's got the upgraded steering. Let's see, right there. This is upgraded bar. He's got the frame stiffener bracket down here. to make these a little stronger. Shock therapy, 3-inch lift kit. What else is put in it? I think I named everything. So the most expensive part was the wheels and tires and the shock therapy springs. The good thing about doing all this is you get that custom look, and now you have lifetime warranty on your A-arms, your axles, your ball joints, everything you bought from Super ATV. The Polaris stuff, in 2 more months, I have no warranty. So let's see. I will move these so we can look side by side to see what the high clearance A-arms look like next to each other. Alright, I will probably move them again. The way they're sitting, that thing really looks a lot taller. It's only 2 inches taller, but the ground is uneven. Anyway, you can see the difference, I think. Maybe I'll get a spot where the sunlight's better. So there is factory high clearance A-arms. And you can kind of see how those bars are going up right now. You know, my rear springs have taken a sag, so it's time to crank them a little bit. What do we got here? Oh, I thought I saw a crack. Okay, and then here's the Super ATV high clearance A-arms. Now, my track width is wider than his, and my suspension travel is longer. So you can kind of see, just when you do a comparison side by side, the width from side to side. You know, the A-arms, they look shorter than the XP, because they are. And these also have the adjustment right here, so you can crank those in and out to adjust your tires. You've got grease fittings on all of the points. You don't have that on the factory ones anywhere. Let's see what kind of view we get from the front. Factory high clearance A-arms on the XP. They go out and droop down. Little tiny guards. And Super ATV, they have 2 bends in them. So I think, yeah, the clearance on the XP is wider. As this one comes out, goes to that point right there, breaks down a little bit, then breaks down a little more, where those ones go across, you know, more even. So you have a wider area with that ground clearance. So here's what $5,500 does. So we need to still go out and test it, see how it rides, and compare it to the XP. If it handles pretty good, the XP might go up in the air a little bit more. I'm gonna take it over here onto my trailer, that trailer right there, and pull it up on the ramp and see if they'll go up the same distance before they lift the tire. So I'll reposition and see what that does. Okay, I just went up till it felt good, and you can see where it is on the ramp. And if the tire is touching the ground back here, if I push it, the tire comes off the ground. So that would be with full sway bars hooked up, how far it'll go, And of course, I only run 10 pounds of pressure, so I get a little squat out of the back. And that right there is what that one looks like. This sunlight is not working in my favor. Okay. Well, I'm going to do the other one in this same spot, but I might move the trailer and try it in the sunlight where you can see better. But anyway, you can see how the tire is kind of folding over a little because I only run 10. Front tire is just barely touching. So if I had the sway bars all unhooked, this would probably go all the way up on the trailer without lifting the tire. Let's see if I can see it from this side. Yeah, I'll do the other one and then I'll reposition, see if I can get better sunlight. Okay, there's the same thing. Pulled up about the same distance. And granted, he has 20 pounds of pressure and 10 ply tires. If I push on his, it comes off the ground even easier. Like no weight there. And this is why. That tire is not even touching the ground. So the 10 ply tire and the tires being harder could be the difference, but it kind of looks like we have a few inches of travel benefit from the XP, which would make sense since the XP has 14 inches of travel all the way around and the 18 does not. Okay, so now I'm going to try to reposition in a spot that has more sunlight. See if I can get a better shot. And maybe I'll lower the pressure on his or raise it on mine. It'll probably be more fair to raise the pressure on mine because he has 10 ply tires. They're not gonna squat like mine will. I might try that, but move it around and give it another shot. Well, the sun is dropping over the hill pretty fast, so I don't know that I'll have time to air those up and try a new position. Focus. There we go. So here's another view. When I went to turn it around, I did notice a difference in the turning radius. So I need to go out in the field and set up a point and try the turning radiuses, because their steering stops. That sun is right in the way. Their steering stops in the 18. So I definitely could tell that there was a difference in that. So I'll go do a test on the steering real quick. Okay, I pulled both machines up so the back tire was at that bottle. I went out here and did a full circle all the way around and back to that bottle. Right over here, it looks like the 18 with the lift. It's really hard to see in the camera, but it looks like it's about 3 foot difference from the mark right there and the mark over here in the tread. So the steering stops makes that thing make a 3 foot bigger circle than this one. So there is a definite difference in the turning radius between the two. And maybe I'll pull them up next to each other again and just turn the wheels full lock and see what that looks like. Okay, there's full lock on both of them. You can't tell in the video, but I can see a slight difference in the amount of turning on the XP just sitting here. It's not huge, but it does make a difference when you're in tight spots. These machines are already pretty long. You can see right there the difference in the brakes. His setup and how small that brake is. And it's got Johnny joints on the end of this steering. That's kind of cool for misalignment. These here, you can see the brakes quite a bit bigger. Got cooling fins up on the top. Okay, at some point I'm going to take at least one of those tires and throw it on mine and see how much of a difference it is in the width. And then we got to get these machines out and test them, see how one rides compared to the other. The yard's a little too wet at the moment to really test it in the yard. If I could, this spot in the driveway, when you come down that hill right there and you go across the driveway, if you hit it hard, it lands out here just off of something like that. There'll be no tire tracks in that area there. It'll land out here. But the grass over in this area is pretty soft right now. So I would just tear up the yard if I did it at the moment. So we'll have to take it somewhere, probably up the Baber, and test it out. Alright, thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to comment. Thanks again. Couldn't handle it. I aired these down. They went up the same distance. This tire's now touching the ground. You can see how much squish the back tire has. Similar to what mine did. Front is a little less squish. See right there a little bit. So that turns out that with the same air pressure, they're flexing about the same with the sway bars on. It does ride stiffer than mine. I lowered it to 10 pounds and I couldn't handle it. I went ahead and went off that spot in the driveway. And it lands, it's a lot harder, even at 10 pounds, than the XP. So there is a slight difference. We'll still have to take it out and do some testing out in the woods in different spots, and hopefully do a video on that.